global warming is actually the measurement of carbon dioxide on the different sides. So for this example, there's a measurement on ice, a measurement of the absorption of carbon dioxide in ice. So bakit carbon dioxide ang mini-measure sa global warming? It is because there is a direct relationship between the concentration of carbon dioxide and the uh, fluctuations of temperature within the atmosphere. So aside from this Antarctic or ice measurement of carbon dioxide, meron ding atmospheric um, measurement of carbon dioxide. This is a station found in Hawaii. Okay. So based on the 1,000 years of CO2 and global warming, see, this shows the direct relationship of concentration of carbon dioxide and the temperature or its effect to temperature, atmospheric temperature, particularly in the northern hemisphere. So as you can see, although there are fluctuations or differences, but the trend is still the same. So kung at this portion, pataas ng concentration ng carbon dioxide, you will see the trend also na umaakyat din yung temperature. So that is the relationship of the two. So what are the simple means? Okay. So there are actually some of the ways that we can actually do in order to eliminate, okay, or to reduce the amount of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. So primarily, for humans, there should be a change in lifestyle and less reliance to the materials that requires the combustion of fossil fuels. So in this particular projection here, have US emissions. So they are targeting that in this particular portion, this part here should be eliminated and try to reduce the amount of CO2 in the atmosphere by these particular years. So how can they actually do that? So there are possible ways that will contribute to the elimination of this part here, elimination of this particular concentration of carbon dioxide with this particular year projections. So kasama po dyan yung production and even utilization of um, uh, electricity efficiently. You have alternative source of energy, you have carbon capture and storage in order to reduce CO2 emissions. So kasama din po yan yung pagkuha ng alternative source of energy, whether the wind, whether the solar power, na sinusunod naman ngayon ng mga local firms, especially here in the Philippines, that is to maximize the presence of solar radiation, especially in the tropics. And since we are bounded with oceans and seas, so meron din tayong capability to produce energy out of wind power. And of course, if we cannot dissociate ourselves from relying to materials requiring fossil fuels, so we should use our technology or even our intelligence of human beings in order to create um, materials, means of transportation, for example, that will actually become fuel efficient. Ibig sabihin, less lang yung um, emission ng carbon dioxide at na-maximize niya yung resource, particularly fossil fuels. So what can we do to help solve the problem and to stop global warming? So there are simple things you can do sa bahay, reduce water use, ayan. So turning off the lights, especially in electricity, kasi ang major electricity natin ay fino-fuel ng or napoproduce sa pamamagitan ng fossil fuels. And of course, one of the main reason bakit tumataas din ang carbon dioxide emission within the atmosphere kasi wala na pong nag-absorb neto, particularly our forests. Sinabi nga doon na our forest ecosystem is the lungs of the earth dahil sila ang nag-a-absorb ng CO2, giving off oxygen for human use or the use of other organism. So dahil sa expansion ng agricultural lands for human settlements, ayan, so nade-denude po yung forest. So since these forests are carbon sink, so ibig sabihin, pag dinude mo yung forest or eliminate mo yung forest na yan din kalawak or karami, may specific amount of carbon dioxide ka rin na nile-leverage or napupunta mismo sa atmosphere. Since siya ay parang sink ng CO2 or carbon dioxide, okay? So, pag pinutol mo yan or clear mo yan, yun din yung amount ng carbon dioxide ng sink na to or nasa sink nito ang eliminate or ma-emit mismo sa atmosphere. Okay? So, application of the technology that we have in order to eliminate the use of greenhouse gases. For example, you have CFL gases or CFL fluorescent lamp rather than incandescent lamp because of the reduction of the utilization of fossil fuel. Of course, other things, if we cannot deny the fact that climate change and even global warming is already happening, okay? So, as human beings and as organisms living within areas affected by global warming and climate change, we need to adapt. So, these are the things that we can do in order to adapt for such changes, okay? So, um, there are two things that we need to do is we need to adjust to the present temperature as the present climate. At the same time, contribute also na hindi na mag-worst yung events or phenomenon na nanghahappen dahil doon sa dahil doon sa emission ng greenhouse gases within the atmosphere. Yan. But do not confine yourself that global warming and climate change is the issue. It is because global warming and climate change are natural phenomenon. Nangyari nga yan in the past years, in the past period. If you look into the geologic time scale in the past, nangyayari na po ang global warming and climate change. Ang magiging issue dito is that napakabilis po kasi ng transition ng global warming at ng climate change. Yun po yung issue. Ano po yung dahilan kung bakit mabilis? It is because of the contributory factors or the activities being done by humans in order to contribute to the worsening of global climate change and global warming. Yan. So, yun yung issue doon. Yung activity mismo ng humans na nag-contribute sa pagpadali ng global warming, kumbaga, at climate change, yun yung dapat i-address. Not the phenomenon, the two phenomena. Kasi yun ay natural phenomenon na nangyayari na sa Earth in the past. Yun nga lang, hindi ganun kabilis ang transition. Okay. So, that is the atmosphere topic.